here with Steve Monson, and he is our December spotlight of the month. So we're super excited to have Steve. Matt was like quick to suggest him. So he's super awesome. Matt will tell us a little bit more about why he chose Steve and why he wanted to highlight him. And yeah, so we're super stoked to have you on here. So thank you for letting us interview you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to start off by asking you a couple questions. So how long have you been with Excel?
I've been with Excel now, it's like almost exactly a year.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And which class do you go to?
Right now I'm at the 7 a.m. class.
Okay.
Small group training. So small group on Tuesday, Thursdays.
Okay. Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about your career, your hobbies, things you like to do?
Yeah, sure. So I do retirement planning, and I've done that for almost 20 years now. Got an office in Provo and work with mostly retired clients, helping them to make sure that they can make it all the way through retirement successfully. And I really enjoy that. Lots of good folks. Really enjoy working with those people.
Awesome.
I've been a runner and a cyclist for 25 years. I've raced a lot, and I run a lot and bike a lot. So I've done lots of marathons, half marathons, 5K, 10K, century rides on bikes. Been to Moab a lot with my mountain bike. I like to get out and stay active. And actually, that's what brought me to Excel. I started doing triathlons about 5 years ago. About 4 years ago, I started with a triathlon trainer, and I wanted to integrate some strength training. I'm getting older and wanted to make sure that I had that strength component, and it didn't quite work out the way that I had wanted it to. And then I also had an injury from running. So this was pretty common for me. I have trouble over, as many miles as I do. And this one turned into an acute problem. I tore my meniscus and fortunately was able to go in and get some stem cell treatment on it.
Oh,
and
wow.
After I was done with that, I was off it for about 3 weeks, and my wife had gone to Matt at Excel for some stem cell work that she had done. And I think she had PRP actually, but anyway, went to Matt and loved Matt. She would rave about Matt in the gym. And I, being a cardio guy, was like, you know what? There's no chance you're getting me in the gym. I am not a gym guy.
Yeah.
I hate the gym. But after talking with the guy that did the stem cell, he says, you could benefit from going to the gym. And Matt's a great guy to go and talk to. So I reached out to Matt about the same time he had family tragedy going on, which was super hard for him. And he was awesome to just work with me anyway and talk to me over the phone and get me involved. And so anyway, I came on about a year ago, and that's how I got started with Excel.
So it's like your 1 year anniversary and you're the spotlight.
Yes, it is.
That's a funny coincidence, really.
It is, yeah. Okay, so tell me, what's your wife's name?
Marianne. She goes by Mer.
Okay. Awesome. Because then people watching this will probably, some of them will know who she is. So
yeah, she remembers quite a few.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. What kinds of benefits have you seen since coming? We kind of got to hear a little bit about how you got started, but so what are some of the benefits that you've seen since you've started coming, and like how has that improved with like your cycling and your other hobbies that are outside of the gym?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the first 3 months, I'm going to list this as a benefit. I found out that I could be more sore than I ever knew before. I was so sore after the workouts for a while. It took a while for my body to adjust and come around. But once it did and it came around, I found that I had, more of everything that I wanted, more capacity during the day, more ability to do the tough climbs on bikes and do the hills on runs. And then over the last 6 or 7 months, man, it's opened up a whole new world for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I much less sore in running and biking after long runs and long rides. I feel like I've got a lot more core stability, much less injury prone. As a triathlete, I felt like I was pretty able to run in a straight line and bike in a straight line pretty efficiently and pretty effectively. But throw in any hills or anything like that, I felt like I was kind of fragile because I didn't really have the strength that I wanted to be able to get through any challenges that came up. And so not only in competing in triathlon, but like I say, day to day, just getting around and doing stuff, I feel like I've got more energy and ability than I've had almost ever. I mean, the strength component is something I've never done. Like I said, I hated the gym because I was always a scrawny weakling in high school, and those guys get picked on at the gym, and so I didn't want to be at the gym.
Yeah.
But Excel has been the place where you don't get picked on at the gym. I actually, it's this is strange to say, but it's actually turned out to be one of my favorite parts of the week. I really do schedule things around going to the gym Tuesdays and Thursdays because I just love being there.
Oh, I love hearing that. That is so awesome. I loved hearing your timeline, because I think a lot of times people think they're going to start and, next week they'll be stronger and feeling better and life has changed. But I loved hearing your timeline of how, you were really sore for those first months. And then after you hit that 6-month mark, you were feeling stronger than ever. So that's awesome. I love that. Okay. So I don't have to ask you what keeps you going because that's kind of part of it. Okay. So, do you have any tips for someone who's just starting out or coming back or, just wanting to get started, but feeling, maybe nervous too? Do you have any tips for them?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing I would say is I've talked to a lot of people who start running. Most people hate to run. And I've run for so many years that I've had this conversation so many times that, look, you got to get past the first 2 to 3 miles. Once you can get 2 to 3 miles under your belt consistently and feel better, then all the fun comes after that. Running is really fun if you can get past 3 miles and get beyond that. And the gym was the same for me. The first, like I say, 2 to 3 months, I was confident that I was growing and things were getting better. And Matt was awesome at helping me to continue on through. He's always been the guy that I've worked with at the gym that's coached my classes. And so I would just rely on him to make sure this was a workout that worked for me because I wasn't sure early on. I just trusted him through the process.
Yeah.
And if you can just get through the sore phase, man, it opens up a whole new world. It's great. Not only do you feel better during the day, but you feel better when you go to the gym. And gosh, life is really great when you stay fit and feel good. That's the thing, especially a guy that's my age. I'm almost 50. I'm getting to the point where I want to make sure that I retain muscle mass. And I think that I've got more muscle than I ever have had and have been able to do more things than I ever thought were possible. So that's one tip, is just hang on through the process. And the other tip that I would say is just be friendly when you're in the gym. I have not encountered a single person at Excel that I have felt has been standoffish or like the classical gym person that's just too good for me. I feel like we're all working on it together, and we show up and everybody's at a different stage and everybody accepts that everybody's at a different stage and we all cheer each other on. I really like that.
Yeah.
So I think every day when I go and I work out and I finish up, I feel like it's a win for the day. It really sets a great tone.
Oh, I love that. Win for the day too.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the cool things, I think, I'm just going to interject here. Steve picked up dirt biking in the last year, right? You already started doing that. And right. One of the coolest things, which I think is awesome, and he said, I'm just kind of paraphrasing what he said. He just never would have had the confidence if he didn't have the strength training that he has right now. And he's strong enough to take on a new hobby, and I would dare say strength training's become a new hobby. Like he's pretty passionate about it. Like he's like actually adjusted his vacations so that he can still come to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like he's committed. It's been fun.
Yeah, that's right. It's super fun. And dirt biking is something I've been interested in for a long time, but those are heavy machines. And I always thought if it goes down, there's no way I'm picking it up. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And actually, just a short story, I was dirt biking by myself up in AF Canyon it's about a month ago now, before it got cold. And I got to a section where I couldn't get past this rock. I actually had to kind of lift the bike up the side of the mountain, just about 5 or 6 feet till I could get past on the trail. And I could do it. I was shocked. I had the ability to do it. It took out a lot of the fear and the worry about dirt biking. It's super fun.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. I love talking with you. You were mentioning how everyone was really friendly. And it's funny because anyone who we've talked to, especially all the trainers who we've mentioned that you're the spotlight of the month, and we talked about that, they were so excited. So they all think you're great. And yeah, so I'm going to now kind of turn it over to Matt a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about Steve from your perspective, Matt.
So when Steve first started, he was very nervous about coming in and strength training, throwing off his triathlon game and whatnot. And there was that kind of learning curve at first. And it was crazy. I remember the first time, like he came in and he just talked, I asked him, so how are the climbs on your bike? How are the climbs on your run? And I just remember he just lights up and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm blowing all the climbs out of the water. All my times are better, all his splits, and it was just like this whole new awakening of what strength training can do. But I love Steve. Like we have fun conversations. I was able to go to Moab with him a few weeks ago and get to know him even a little bit better. And I could say this with a lot of my clients. I can hang out with any of my clients, but especially Steve. We have a lot of the same interests. We're about the same age, and I just have a ton of respect for Steve. And he'd be And this goes with pretty much any of my clients though. But if Steve called me one day and he's like, "Hey Matt, I'm in trouble. I need some help with this and that," I'd be there in a heartbeat. And because he's just a stand-up guy. He's just a great dude. And I might go on a limb here. I feel like I could do the same thing with Steve. I could say, "Hey Steve, I need some help on this project or this and this," and he would be there. Like he's just that kind of a guy. And and he makes it like he kind of it's fun. He's in our class, and this is our typical 7 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday class. We have different people, different age groups. Like we have a college athlete in there. We've got a few people have political differences, and yet we have these fun conversations. Nobody gets offended. We present our views. We're all friends, and we have these fun conversations while we're working out. And it's just a joy. It's fun.
Oh, I love that. Well, Steve, thank you so much for letting us interview you and talk with you. Like, I loved hearing more about you since I don't see you in the class. And everything that Matt said, I'm totally like feeling just from talking to you over Zoom. So I kind of want to like come to a 7 a.m. class just so I can like hear your fun conversations.
We would welcome you with open arms.
Yes.
Sounds like a great group. So anyways, thank you so much for sharing kind of your story and journey and your experiences with EXL. And that's one thing I should start asking Matt people. I should say, do you call it Excel or EXL?
It goes either way. Like, right? Like I don't care.
I go half and half. Like, especially when I do an interview, I'll do like Excel, EXL. Anyways,
it all works.
So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
Yeah. See you later.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
We'll see ya.